Hey guys, Akira here, and today I wanted to give you guys three recommendations of games that came out in 2024 that I highly recommend that you probably haven't played. So I know that 2024 was a very busy year for gaming. I know it came with a lot of masterpieces like FF7 Rebirth came out, Black Myth Wukong, Metaphor, we had Astrobot, we had games like Stellar Blade and then Helldivers 2. I know we had tons and tons of great games. But I wanted to give you guys three recommendations, excuse me, of games that you probably haven't played. And since these games, they at least two of these kind of flew under the radar. Not a lot of people know about these games. And I would love to share some light in you guys and let you guys know what I think are some great games that I think you might enjoy. Yeah, up first we have Super Monkey Ball, Banana Rumble for the Switch. um I know that a lot of people, you guys may have grown up in the Super Monkey Ball games on like GameCube and stuff, and this is a fresh new take on the Super Monkey Ball formula. I highly recommend you guys play this game, especially if you have a Switch. I know the Switch has an install base of like 140 million. And I highly recommend you guys get this game. You guys will have lots of fun. You get four buddies or four family members, and you guys have a blast. Kind of like Mario Kart or Smash or Mario Party style. I highly recommend you guys get this game. You will have the same amount of fun, if not more. I personally think it's the best party game of all time, even better than those games I just mentioned. Which I know it's a high claim to make. At number two here we have Stellar Blade. I know that Stellar Blade it, it was kind of forgotten shortly after it's released. For it to be an amazing game, um, I noticed that not a lot of people were talking about it in terms of being nominated for certain stuff for Game of the Year, or probably like the best action game or best soundtrack or best this and that. It kind of flew under the radar because other games kind of took the spotlight. I know like Metaphor and Wukong and FF7 Rebirth and Astrobot, kind of took the spotlight. But this is one of those games where I highly suggest and I highly recommend you get this if you love action games, if you like games with good music, um including stuff like Near Automata, hell, even stuff like Wukong, or stuff like anything action oriented. I highly recommend you get Stellar Blade. I know that the main character, people, there's a whole discrepancy of the main character because she's like a slim character with like big boobs, kind of like Zero Suit Samus or Tifa or Tomb Raider, or Lara Croft rather. And I know that creates a whole controversy, but at the end of the day, who cares? At the end of the day, who cares? Um, People love Zero Suit Samus. People love Tifa. Um, you know, who cares? At the end of the day, just it's all about the gameplay. The gameplay is amazing, and I highly recommend this game. I will say the soundtrack in this game is amazing. I legit think that if it wasn't for FF7 Rebirth, I legit think this game would have the best soundtrack of the year, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, and number one, my most recommended game of 2024, and probably of this generation, will be Astrobot. I know I've went into a long ramble when I made my top 10 games of 2024 video, but to keep it short, I think this is a masterpiece. It deserved, and I'm so glad it was awarded for its creativity and just pure fun. It was awarded all this publicity of getting Game of the Year, not only from the Game Awards, but also from other publications and review websites. Tons and tons of others have gave and awarded this the Game of the Year. And I'm hoping that this sends a message to the not only Sony but the game industry that we want more fun games like this that are complete package once you pay the $60, and no microtransaction BS and DLC BS, that the game only comes half done and they finish the rest with like microtransactions and DLC. None of that stuff. It's just straight up fun. I highly recommend this game. You will literally be smiling your whole playthrough. You would have so much fun. It's to a point where like I literally smile just talking about this game because of how much fun it is, and it's just It's one of those games where I think that you look back and you'd be like, wow, this game defined, or like that stood up that generation. Kind of like something like, you know, when people think of like the fifth generation, like the PS1 64 era, games like Metal Gear Solid and Mario 64 and Final Fantasy 7, like, you know, it was a highlight of that generation. If you think on the PS2 Xbox generation, you think of stuff like San Andreas and stuff like the original Halo, like I know Metal Gear Solid 3, I know those games, um, they kind of highlight that generation, and you know, so on and so forth. I think this is gonna be one of those games where when people think back, yo, you guys remember like the PS5 era, the Series X era, the Switch era. I legit think this will be among those games that people talk about when they talk about in the future, looking back to this generation. You know, stuff like Breath of the Wild, um, and Astrobot. But yeah, regardless, I highly recommend this game. I guarantee you'll love it. I guarantee you will have a great time. And like I said before, if you don't have a great time, DM me and I'll personally give you $50. That's how much I guarantee you will have a good time playing this game. But yeah, regardless, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with my picks? Any other game recommendations you guys recommend? Please leave below down in the comments so you can recommend to me as well, because I'm sure there are tons and tons of games that I have not yet discovered. um you know, they came out in 2024, and then just in general, just any year, regardless. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, as it'll help me reach 1,000 followers. Bye guys.